Pregnancy can be stressful, postpartum can be stressful, motherhood can be stressful, life can be stressful. There's a lot of stress in our world these days, and there probably always has been. But I think today, many of us need a lot of support and inspiration to de-stress. And that's why today we're going to be talking about 7 tactics to de-stress. 7 because it's the number of completion, and I could come up with easily 7 like kind of main tactics, main categories, and there will certainly be sub-tactics, I guess, but those were the 7 main ones, and so that's what I went with. Starting off with number 1 being breathing or singing. Yes, singing. So breathing, I feel like today we have a really good grasp on breath work and the importance of taking deep breaths and, getting those big lung filling breaths. There's all different kinds of breath work and like tactics and sessions of breathing that people can take these days. We got breath. We get it. We need to oxygenate. And there's some real science behind all of that stuff. There's real reasons that it helps us calm and de-stress on a physiological level. Breathing, taking big, slow, deep breaths. We're telling our bodies that we're safe. But one thing that I feel like is seldom talked about that has very, very similar effects is singing. And when we sing, we take these deep, lung-filling breaths and we let it out slowly because we are singing. And there's some, science behind that too. Singing itself, we're vocalizing and getting this like circulation of oxygen in a slow, measured way. And it has these very similar effects to just stopping and taking a deep breath. And I think that, and I haven't actually looked into this yet, it's something that's on my to learn list. But I think that when we sing, we raise our vibrations. The sounds that we hear are literal vibrations. And when we sing, we fill our bodies with this vibration that we are making. And there, I think, are notes and things that we can reach and we can sing and whatever. And I think that those notes themselves, the song itself, the music itself, helps heal our minds and our nervous systems in ways that maybe can't even really be quantified and measured. But one thing that I think about often when I consider these types of things is that singing has been around since the beginning of humanity. People have been singing as a way to connect with nature and God and themselves and others and things like that. Singing has been a huge part of that since the beginning of humanity. So I feel like there's something there. I feel that there is something very spiritual about the act of singing. And so for all of these reasons, this is one, wrapped up great tactic to de-stress. Breathing or singing, especially if we're singing these big, beautiful songs that maybe even somebody else wrote that are really meaningful and maybe they even have lyrics that are meaningful. We sort of course correct ourselves, I think, when we sing. And often, I was supposed to wrap that one up, but I'm carrying on anyway. But often when I'm singing, I'll just sort of vocalize, and sometimes I'll sing an actual song. But I often find, especially when I really, really need the de-stress, I really, really need to de-stress, I find that when I just sort of sing and I'm just singing whatever words are coming to mind, my song ends up becoming a prayer that I am singing. And so I'm sort of jumping the gun, but that brings me to our next tactic of de-stressing, which is prayer and meditation. That's also something that's been around forever and ever. And it has really profound effects on our stress. When we pray and we meditate on things and we calm our minds and we calm our breath, I think when we look beyond what's happening in the moment in our small world, we look at the bigger picture, we look at the things around us, and we reach out to the Creator and the Divine Sovereign, or we just have to reach into ourselves and just quiet our minds and maybe just say our woes out loud, or the things that are stressing us, the things that are weighing heavily on us. When we just say them out loud and feel that God is listening, that someone is listening, that nature is listening, I think that alone is really healing in itself. And I think also a lot of the time we can actually sort of process our stress, and maybe it will even sort of help us process it in a way that we can actually then get rid of it completely, like actually solve the problem, whatever it may be, or actually just fully heal that and close that chapter and move forward without picking up that stress again. So I think it's really powerful, and definitely made this list. So number 3, move. Move. That is move. Move your body. Exercise, stress. Don't stress. That's what we're not doing. Sorry. Stretch. Maybe go on a walk, especially a walk in nature. Dance. People don't dance anymore, or at least, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if you don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. But anyway, forgive that. I love that song. Anyway, it came to mind. I had to, you guys are in for a wild ride. I'm in a kind of a weird mindset today. So I'm sorry, or you're welcome. I'm not sure which one, but, yes, dancing, move your body, get the energy out, get the stress out. You don't even have to be good at dancing. I am not good at dancing, but there are days where I'm like, you know what? I literally made a playlist, that I call my self soundtrack or something like that. And it's just full of all these great albums that I've liked for years and years, all kinds of genres. It doesn't matter if it's music that I enjoy, that lifts me up and that I love to listen to. I put it all in that playlist, and I'll put that on, and I'll just have a dance party with the boys in the living room. And sometimes I'll blast it, sometimes I won't. And sometimes it's music I can sing along to, and we'll just sing and dance. And the boys always think it's really funny, because again, I'm not a good dancer, but it's really important, I think, to move our bodies, exercise. I mean, there's science behind that. That's, again, I'm not going to share the science behind any of this stuff. Maybe I should have. Maybe I could have. I definitely could have. But I just wanted to talk at you guys this time. But it's out there. There's so much science, so much that we can observe about the benefits of moving our bodies, exercising, stretching, walking, dancing. And I would say what falls under this category also is crafting or playing or creating. So when we're moving, like, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. So there's this legitimate like therapy where you do different things with your right and left hand, and you look in different directions and stuff like that. And you have to, it helps you like integrate and like process this. It's a trauma healing therapy, and it's legit. I mean, it makes sense to me when I can actually, when somebody else who's more knowledgeable is explaining it to me. It's like, yes, that makes sense. And I've heard from several people that it's very successful. If I remember, I'll put it in the show notes. If I can remember what it is, I'll put it in the show notes. But anyway, it reminded me when I first heard about this therapy type method, it made me think of playing the piano. And not just playing the piano, but playing the piano and singing at the same time. Because when you're playing piano and you're reading sheet music, you're having to look, in these You're having to read the sheet music, and you're doing different things with your right and your left hand at the same time. And a lot of the time, for me anyway, these songs that I'm playing, these, classical songs or whatever, they're very moving. So they reach down into my soul. And then I'm doing these different things with my hands and my eyes. And it just made me think of that. And I feel like there's so much to playing like an instrument, crafting, when we're moving our hands, even if we're not moving our entire bodies and not necessarily doing like a full workout, full exercise. I think doing things with our hands are a natural way for us to de-stress also. And I think it's underrated because just imagine yourself, like, close your eyes for a minute. Imagine yourself painting. Imagine yourself with a paintbrush, and you've got this beautiful color on the paintbrush, and you've got this gorgeous canvas in front of you, and the world is your oyster, right? And you're just painting, with each brush stroke. A picture is forming, this vision is coming to life on the canvas. And how can that not de-stress someone? How can that not be relaxing? There's something there. There's something to that. And so anyway, I won't go off forever about that, but I felt like that counted. Even though it's not a full body thing, I think it counts. Getting daily exercise in is so valuable, yet can be so overwhelming for busy moms and busy life in general. Don't fret, BirthFit has your back. BirthFit provides fitness programs to enhance the adaptability and resilience of our neuromuscular systems through efficient, intentional movement and training for women in all seasons and cycles of life, specifically preconception, pregnancy, and healing postpartum. BirthFit and the women who created it are legit, and I'm excited to share with you 20% off any BirthFit program you purchase from their website when you use code HAYA. Support your body so your body can support you and this new phase of motherhood. Go check them out today. Number 4, listen to pleasant things. Oh, look at that. More reasons to bring up good music. Listen to pleasant things. Listen to some good music, maybe relaxing music. There's science behind relaxing music being relaxing, so just saying. But good music that brings you joy, that feels pleasant. Or go outside and listen to nature. Listen to birdsong. Listen to water trickling down from something. Listen to a babbling brook or the river or a waterfall or the ocean. Crickets or frogs making their little noises and stuff like that. And just nature itself. Like, I know I love to go outside and just listen when there's a fresh snowfall and just how quiet it can be. Even if there's like a car off in the distance, like there's just something really special about just listening and how quiet it can be after snowfall. Or maybe even there's a deer walking by and there's the crunch of their hooves and that sort of thing. It's all lovely and relaxing. The other thing that I think falls in this category is laughter. Heavily underrated. Okay? If we're really stressed out, sometimes hearing our kids play just adds to the stress. It's just kind of noise. But if we can take our deep breaths and quiet our mind for a second and just like put everything else aside and just listen to our children laughing, it's music. It's music. Okay? Someday those laughs will not be in our homes anymore. Oh my gosh, I'm so emotional. I'm tearing up. I'm going to try not to, but someday those laughs will not be in our home anymore. And it can be so beautiful to just stop and listen and remember, that someday they won't be there. They won't be there in our home with their little voices. They'll be adults, God willing, and they'll be, making their own children, God willing, and all of that. But our babies with their baby laughs will not always be baby laughs. So cherish those and really cherish those. And if you don't have babies yet, laugh with your partner, laugh with your husband. Go listen to a comedy and something that's genuinely funny and not like just crass and gross or even particularly political or something like that. There are a lot of comedians out there that are like up and comings, and you can find them on, the internet or whatever. And they've got some cute things to watch. They're just funny. Just laugh. Just laugh. Listen to them laugh. Listen to... There was one time somebody showed me a video, and it was literally just a bunch of people laughing, but it was like a bunch of cuts of different laughs, and it was just ridiculous. It was so funny. They're just like all these different... It was so funny to hear, these different kinds of laughs, and that alone made me giggle. And it's incredibly healing. So it may sound really cliche or really cheesy or whatever, but, it really works. And I think it's another one of those underrated things that is really, really healing and wonderful and a part of the beauty of the human experience. So let that be one of your tactics to de-stress. Okay, moving on. Number 5, smell pleasant things. Smell a beautiful candle that's not poisoning you. Go have a campfire with some of that good wood from the forest, or, it doesn't have to be from the forest. I guess you could just go pick it up at the gas station or something, but go have a campfire. Let it crackle. Throw some herbs in there and let the herbal smoke heal you and wrap around you and just fill your senses. It's actually so good for you. But anyway, and herbal smoke like mullein or pine, those are medicinals. Those are herbal plants. I guess they're trees and all of that, but it has real medicine in it. There's a reason that we find those scents really pleasant. So anyway, moving on, damp earth. That's one that I love. I love going into the woods when it's slightly warm, especially when it's just rained or maybe there was snow and it melted a bit, but just that damp, that like mossy, earthy smell is so good, so good. Maybe go smell some fresh bread. Go make some toast and pretend that it's fresh bread. Go to the Montana wheat store and just stand there and smell everything. Go to a coffee shop. Go smell coffee beans. Whatever kind of stuff, like bake something. Whatever smells and scents just fill you with joy. Maybe go smell your baby. And I know, like, baby smell, oh my gosh, so yummy. Yummy baby smell. It's inexplicable. Don't sniff a stranger's baby, though. Make sure you know the baby. So baby smell. Go smell the musk of your husband. Okay, there's nothing like it. There's a reason we married those guys, right? So just there you go. Or go, be around your favorite animal. Maybe it's weird. I don't think I care, but I love the smell of horse. Okay, I love horses. I love the smell of horses. So whenever I'm like close to the horses and I can smell them, it's like, yes. Sometimes it is stinky, but it's there's something about it. Okay, maybe you like the smell of your dog. Go smell your dog. Okay. You get the point. And I think you animal lovers out there, you understand me. You know what I mean. Okay, moving on. Number 6, count your blessings. Again, these are the tactics to de-stress, right? So number 6, count your blessings. As a good Southern Christian lady would probably say, definitely my grandma and my mom would say it that way. Another way of thinking about that is just have a gratitude journal. But I like to say count your blessings because sometimes I don't have time to sit down and journal, and I always want to journal a whole lot, and I don't always have the time to journal all of the things that I want to journal. So saying keep a gratitude journal is kind of a project. in my head. So when I say count my blessings, when I say count your blessings, it seems like a little bit easier. I can count my children, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can count my blessings in the same kind of way. It's light, it's easy, it's quick, and it can be really helpful especially when I'm like deep in a moment of feeling very stressed. So some of your blessings could be that you have food on your table. You have food to eat. There's food in your cabinets. You have food in your fridge. Maybe it's not all the food that you want. Maybe it's not the kind of food that you'd like, but it's there and you can feed your body and your children and your family with it. And it's so important. I know for myself, I'm totally speaking to myself, but it's so important to really just kind of stop and look at what you do have in your fridge and you do have in your cabinets and say, okay, we are not going to starve. We do have food. We can nourish our bodies. We will be okay. So that's a big one. And I hope that doesn't come across as like patronizing or anything, because that is a huge one for me. Another blessing that you could maybe count is your health. Okay. What kind of health, whatever kind of health you do have. Okay. You're listening to this podcast so you can hear things. You can hear your children, when they're calling for you. You can hear your partner, your loved ones. You can hear nature. You can go listen to the pleasant things that we already talked about, because your hearing is functional. Do you have legs? Do you have your legs? Do they work? Do they walk? Do you have arms? Do you have all your fingers? You have ears? You have nose? You have a mouth? Eyes? I'm sure you have a beautiful face. You can breathe. You can move about the country without feeling great pain, maybe. Maybe you can actually breathe because you don't have a cold and you don't have a flu. You can think about things because you don't have a headache. Maybe you're pregnant right now, and that alone is a sign of health. You're growing a baby, and that comes from a place of vitality. Well, it definitely comes from a place of fertility, right? So there's lots of things that we could think about and really praise God for and be thankful for when it comes to our health. Just if you're having trouble coming up with something, like if you're feeling really down about your health, then just think of like the worst possible health crisis and then go up from there. What do you have that is not that? Okay. So there's one. Do you have shelter from the cold and the rain and the weather? Do you have shelter for your things? Shelter for your family? A roof over your head, even if it's not one that you own, if it's not as big as you want, if it's not as private as you want, as quiet as you want, it's there. Is it there? Do the windows close? Do the doors close? Do the walls stand up? Another thing that you can count as a blessing, your loved ones. Whoever they are, whoever just came to mind when I said your loved ones, whoever came to mind, they are there. They love you. You love them. That's a big one all in itself. And the final thing I'll say about counting your blessings is that there is a verse, I believe it's in Tehillim. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to remember it exactly, but there's a song that's basically your mercies are new every morning. And I think that's a big one too, is that every new day is a new opportunity. And if yesterday sucked, yesterday was horrible, this whole week was horrible, whatever, today is a new day. You've woken up, you've opened your eyes, you've taken a big deep breath, and it's new. And you can make it whatever you need it to be. Okay, and the final one is hydrate and eat. Hydrate yourself. Eat something. Nourish your body. Again, preaching to myself. But our dehydration and starvation, it puts our bodies into like survival mode, and it activates, stress physiologically for a reason. It's good. It's the way we were designed. It's a safety measure. It helps us stay alive. But if we don't need those systems to be online, then we don't need them. Turn them off by eating something and hydrating. And all of your body needs hydration. We need minerals, we need vitamins, we need protein and fat and carbs and all the good things. But mostly, again, hydration. So don't just drink water, but if that's all you've got, get it. You get that water. You drink the crap out of that water. Well, don't drink the crap out of the water. Just drink the water. Drink the good things out of the water. Yeah, nourish your body. It makes a huge difference. It's kind of a joke amongst women, right? That we get really crabby and freak out because, there's whole commercials that were framed around that, like that you're not yourself without a Snickers or whatever it was. And it's really true though. Our bodies will not de-stress if we are starving and dehydrated. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. I like the phrase, put on your own oxygen mask before you put somebody else's on. If you're a mom already, or just somebody who takes care of others, you need to be taking care of yourself, because if you're, on the ground dragging, then you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else very well. You need to take care of yourself. And that was, the 7 tactics to de-stress. Really quick, I'll go over the main ones. Number 1, breathe/sing. Number 2, pray or meditate. 3, move your body. 4, listen to pleasant things. 5, smell pleasant things. 6, count your blessings. And 7, hydrate/eat. So there you have it. I hope you learned something. I hope this was inspiring. I hope it helped. Calm some stress, even while you were listening. And all of these things are free, except for the food part. But we have to eat. We must, and we need to, and it's good. And we are provided for. It is okay. And at any rate, I'll catch you next time. Did you know I have a newsletter? If you want to hear about upcoming cohorts, programs, or event updates, and have everything delivered straight to your inbox, head over to my website, earthboundparenting.org, and sign up for the newsletter at the bottom of the page. I only send emails when I have something to share, and often send a little personal note at the end of the news breakdown. So again, if you want to hear from me on the regular, sign up for my newsletter and stay in touch.